Welcome back, guys. Kibla Ahmed out here. Got G-Man in HK.
Yo, what's happening, guys? G-Man from HK. Just a quick one. Kung Hei Fat Choi. Everyone who's celebrating Chinese New Year.
Year of the Dog, guys. Happy New Year, guys. And here we go. Where do we start? Black Panther. Spoil the shit out of this, as Kevin Smith always does. We're gonna spoil the shit out of this. There's poo-poo everywhere. We're gonna have poo-poo everywhere. This is gonna get emotional. This is gonna be informative, emotional, and moist. Yeah, that's the word. That's the word. But G-Man, you've seen it twice. I only got to see it once, but I got to see it once in IMAX, 3D, with the wife. It was absolutely amazing. This film was stunning. This is my initial moist reaction. Story, the way it looked, the feeling of it. It is one of Marvel's best movies. And Marvel come out with some great films, something that you can always watch again. But when it has a great story, it sticks with you. Like Captain America: Winter Soldier is my favorite Marvel movie just because of how complex that story was and how they fit it into the times that we live in right now, because it's significant to what we live right now. And what Black Panther did, and Ryan Coogler, was bring a story that's relative to the times now, made it clean and simple, but very effective, and has become one of my favorite Marvel movies out of the whole collection of them all. And I'm a big fan of the Avengers and Iron Man. Iron Man is one of my favorite characters. That a movie like this it's the story, man. It plays a big part. The visuals are stunning. Ryan Coogler is an amazing director. He's worked with Michael B. Jordan several times. He did that film about that kid who gets shot in the station.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's called, but I remember watching that. It's the station's name. I'm sorry, I can't remember.
It was a great movie. Hold up, let me just pull it up. I have to pull it up. But Ryan Coogler did Creed. He approached Stallone with a script saying, "I'd love to do a movie based on Apollo's son, but I want full control over it. But I still want you to be a part of this project." That was absolute. That movie is one of the best out of the 6 movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 7.
Absolutely amazing. But guys, I'm gonna let Gilman take over. Let me just find out what this movie was.
Yeah.
The movie. It was called Fruitvale Station.
That's it, Fruitvale Station. I remember seeing that on the plane. I can't remember where I was going. Maybe I was going to New York side at the time of watching that. Film was wicked. And that's when I think I first got introduced to Michael B. Jordan. And I'm like, this kid's he's kind of good. But I think from Creed, that's when I started feeling Michael B. Jordan, man. I think the guy's awesome. Listen, man, I agree with everything you said. This is one of my favorite Marvel movies. And to me, it was more of the story, right? Like you said, I think it's a relevant story that's relevant to this time, but also wasn't too deep to take outside of the comic book world. I thought it was a risky story.
Very
risky. I was like, because we're going to spoil the shit out of the story, right? Ultimately, it's about Michael B. Jordan. I'm going to start off with Michael. I'm just going all over the place, but I'm going to start off with Michael B. Jordan because he was my favorite in this movie. And you know what? I think Marvel has given us our best villain yet, I think that was Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, listen, Vulture was awesome, amazing. He was my best villain so far, and that's because of
Michael Keaton.
I was just about to say Bruce Willis is amazing. Michael Keaton. But Michael B. Jordan gave me I think Marvel was giving us our best villain because of him, because his motive for what he was trying to do was absolutely relevant and absolutely true. I think it's a true motive.
No, of course, because there was times you were like, I hate him, but he's so true.
He's so true.
Yeah.
He was just radicalized.
Yeah.
What he was saying is true. Listen, black people and colored people and Africans, they've gone through all that shit, all the slavery, all that discrimination. The people are being killed to this day. And Wakanda is on top of the world with all this technology and amazing. Where are you guys? Where have you guys been? You know, trying to say you should have helped us. We should have been one in the world and whatnot. However, Michael B. Jordan's approach was radicalized, you know, and I get it from the Wakandan perspective. It's like, listen, they knew if we was gonna help, that means us as Wakanda would have to wage war on the rest of the world, and that's just not our way. So that was their philosophy. They knew it was gonna be war, so they didn't want to do that, right?
Yeah.
Because of the goodness of not causing war. However, Michael B. Jordan's, you know, he was radicalized and he was up for the war, which ultimately led T'Challa at the end of the film to be like, we're going to share our resources now, we're going to help our people, we're going to help everyone as one. So now, I mean, I feel like when we see the Marvel Universe now, it might be very like futuristic now because of Wakanda, because at the moment it's just, you know, you got Brooklyn, you got New York, whatever. We might see some futuristic shit now because of what Wakanda's going to, give to the world.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You were saying?
I know I jumped straight all over the place. I went straight to that because that's what got me the most. But I think, listen, as a Marvel Universe movie, wicked. Fitted in, wicked. I can't wait for Avengers Infinity War, especially that end scene where Bucky was in there. But listen, man, the culture of this movie was awesome, bruv. Like, it was an African superhero, African king. The accent, bruv, the clothes, the music, the women, they were powerful. The scenery, but this was a very cultural film, and I felt like, you know what, like, this is why I feel like it seems more, because you know there's a lot of people out there saying, you listen, man, we've had black superheroes before, like Blade and whatnot. I'm like, yes, they were awesome, but the difference is this is an African black superhero. You know what I mean? He spoke with an African accent. It wasn't, you know what I'm trying to say? It wasn't no stereotype. He spoke with an American accent, but it was pure African, and I felt that they kept that vibe, man.
He did. I think
everything, the clothing, it was a cultural movie. For me, it was a cultural movie, and like I said with the story, I felt it was risky. However, they didn't force it so much where it became a deep movie. It was more like, yes, that was the base of the story. However, this is still a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, it was still fun and colourful and stuff in that sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think Ryan Coogler really, he put his heart into this. I'm happy that he got this project. I'm happy he fought for this project. Like, you get somebody at that age getting a project like this, but this man poured his heart into it, man, because you could tell, bro. You could tell by the way the scenes were done, the costumes, the designs. Like, he wanted this to be, it's a movement in itself, bro. You know what I mean? And it means so much to a lot of ethnic people, not just the one. I think ethnic people in general. Like, it's actually sparked off an idea in my head as well. So that's why I love things like this, because it gives you inspiration for other things as well. But I'm going to go through a brief synopsis of the movie. It's T'Challa on a journey from becoming the son of a king to his journey of becoming a king himself, with conflicts in between. Alright, so when we were talking about, we're spoiling the shit out of this, we're going to go from the beginning, middle, and the end. And I only got to see it once, so my one of my favourite scenes was the beginning opening scene, the story about the Black Panther and how it became and how people were chosen. That opening scene in IMAX was fucking stunning, bro. I had goosebumps as soon as I got in, bro. I was like, oh my god. And I thought we were going to be late because we were running late, bro. And I was like, please, if I miss the beginning, then we're going to wait another 2 hours for the next show in IMAX. I don't care. Like, because I'm not missing the beginning to this movie. But we got there just on time. Like, I had to run to the toilet, take a piss, because I don't want to be taking a piss halfway through the film, and I hate that, bro. So we did that. We ran off. We got there in time. But that opening scene had me locked into the movie, bro. It was very, very, very done. It was done nicely, and then a nice entrance into Wakanda as well. And this, this made up country. But, with oh man, it was full on, man. Bro, I'm going to let you take over.
Yeah, well, I think they made it up. I mean, I like that beginning because it wasn't too long, and it kind of explained where this, what's the metal called again? Oh my god,
Vibranium.
Vibranium, bloody hell. This vibranium meteorite hit this certain part of Africa, this continent Africa, and then not only did it impact this part of Africa, it impacted the environment around it, which is why the flower that made him give him the power of Black Panther appeared and all that stuff. And I think those tribes that found the vibranium within that area, that they formed 5 tribes, right? They formed together to create Wakanda. So like, Marvel is known for using real life countries, but I guess this one was a form where it's like this meteorite's here, and then these tribes have created Wakanda. And now Wakanda, to keep its resources safe, they've hidden themselves for the rest of the world. So the rest of the world think that they're a third world country. But yeah, I thought that was a brilliant opening start. And then it opens up in Oakland, where you see basically young Forrest Whitaker and another and the old king, what's T'Challa's brother's name?
T'Chaka.
T'Chaka, him and his brother and whatnot. They sent a spy. Basically, they sent a spy there because of he was a spy there because he was checking on what's his name, man. He was the guy with the hand.
Claw.
Yeah. He stole some vibranium, right? And he found out that
he was a part of it.
His little brother was a bit of a traitor, and he helped Claw.
That's right.
Steal that stuff from Wakanda. But again, that's where Michael B. Jordan gets his motive. Radicalism from the dad. The dad was already in the US, Oakland, and he's like, our people are being suppressed here. Like, we're being discriminated against. Police are killing us, and Wakanda has the technology and the armed forces to give our people hope and power to fight back, basically.
That's right.
But again, King it was a radical way of doing things. That's why he left.
Yeah.
And then the young brother tried to kill young Forrest Whitaker, and then the king just saved him, I guess, and killed his younger brother, man.
Yeah, so that's a big sacrifice, a big dark secret to carry in the family as well.
I mean, my thing is, and then they left. Michael B. Jordan's character was a little child who came up to the house and saw his father's dead with panther claws in his chest. My thing was, the one thing that made me think was, why did he leave his brother there? I know he said he made a choice to leave his brother there, but he's surprised. I don't know, why did he leave his brother there? Why did he leave the kid there? He should have took him back to Wakanda. So like as T'Challa said in the movie, we created something, right? Because of your decision making. We've created something bad. Yeah. But I mean, I did think that as well. It's like, he's your brother. Why don't you take him back rather than leaving him there? But anyway, I mean, the scene opens up after that, bro, into beautiful. It opens up in the ship with Black Panther. Yeah. And he's going on his first little mission to but to go contact his ex, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's the scene we see in the trailer when the general says to don't freeze. I never freeze.
I love that scene. I love that scene.
And he froze. But that scene though was jokes though. You know when he was like, "Wallahi, I'll kill her." Bro, I was like, wicked scene.
No, it was a good scene.
Again, it's a cultural thing. Like, these are things that we grew up with in Tottenham. Like, growing up with all different cultures, we hear people saying "Wallahi, bro, Wallahi this."
So no, it's good.
I related to. I'm in an IMAX cinema, surrounded by local Hong Kong people. When that guy was like, "Wallahi," I was cracking up, bro. Nobody else gets.
Yeah, no, same here. But that opening scene of him coming down, kicking the shit out of everybody, and having a conversation and actually freezing as well was brilliant. Was really good, man. And that general.
So I was just gonna say, him freezing straight away gives you a like notification, like he's got there's a weakness here. There's something.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, family obviously is something very important to him, obviously with his father and whatnot. But it straight away showed, there's something here with this girl and him, which is straight away into it, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah. No. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And then so what happens next? So he tells the girl that his father's dead. He's going to be pronounced king. Let's go back, and then they do the ceremony, which I thought was amazing. Right. What I loved about the ceremony, the dancing, the music, it felt very tribal to me, man. Yeah. And then we get introduced to one of my favorite characters. Actually, after watching this the second time, he became one of my favorite characters. I think they're from the Umbungu clan or something.
Yeah, his name is M'Baku.
M'Baku, bro. He was wicked, bro. After watching it the second time, I tell you what. He was a wicked character. I really, really liked the main guy, bro. Yeah. There was a scene. I'm just quickly jumping ahead because this scene was wicked, bro. You know the scene after Michael B. Jordan throws him off, right? And then the mum and the daughter and whatnot, they go to the Imbaku tribe to ask for his help. But he's sitting there, the Gorilla King, he's sitting there with his stick. You see the background, all the bamboo stick. But that's a scene out of like a comic book. That was a scene out of a manga. Like, he looked like, I don't know, like he was dressed like, you know, Fist of the North Side. You remember them? They had the fur and stuff. He was sitting there and I thought, this scene is beautiful. Seeing that in IMAX, I'm like, that's a visual comic book scene. Wow, I thought it was wicked.
No, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. But I jumped ahead. Sorry.
That's right. So, I mean, going from that scene of doing the tribal, the challenge, where they take the Black Panther's powers away. This is where we get introduced to Forrest Whitaker as well, who we don't know at the moment yet that he was the second spy that was in the beginning of the film. We find that out later on.
I kind of knew because you see the guy's droopy eye.
Oh shit, that's deep.
Yeah, that's fucked. Why did I say that like that? But I didn't mean it like that. But you saw the eye.
Yeah, no, like, I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that at all. That's weird.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see it in that type of detail, but that's actually really good if they did that, because now thinking about it, he does look like a young Forrest Whitaker because he had the same structure.
Exactly. I saw him, and I knew Forrest Whitaker was on it, and I saw the eye, and I was like, oh, that must be young Buddy Forrest Whitaker.
No, but
yeah,
that was a good fight. The choreography, the scenery, bro, like near the water, I was like, that was absolutely amazing.
Definitely. And you know, with that fight, do you know what's crazy? I was watching that the second time with my jiu-jitsu coach. And because they wanted to watch it with me, and he's a comic book fan as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were just talking to my other friend about how effective jiu-jitsu is against a small guy, against a big guy, right? When you take someone to the floor, it takes away the leverage of power, basically.
Yeah, that's right.
So in that fight, the M'Baku King was big, right?
Yeah.
And Black Panther T'Challa was getting a bit worked. He was getting on the feet. He was getting taken out.
Worked, basically.
Then he took him down and he got him in a reverse triangle. See that lock he had him on?
Yeah.
Was an inverted triangle, basically, which was like a triangle choke. And he had his arm ready to break and whatnot. So he could have choked him out and killed him, which is why he's telling him to tap.
Yeah.
What was great about that scene, and me and I was looking at my jiu-jitsu coach when that happened. So he had him in the lock, basically, and his foot wasn't really locked on. It was like there, right? When the camera zoomed back, he locked on the triangle. He clamped his foot and locked on the triangle. And I was like, the attention to detail. They must have had a jiu-jitsu coach or something there.
Yeah, somebody there. Yeah, definitely.
Get that triangle on, you need to lock it on. That was the thing. So I thought that was brilliant, and it just explained what we were just talking to my friend about, the smaller opponent taking out the big one on the floor.
Yeah.
That was a great fight, brilliant fight. T'Challa ultimately saves his life because that's supposed to be a battle to the death.
That's right.
But he was saying, listen, your people need you, just tap out, and the guy tapped out. So he saved his life, which is going to help him out later on in the movie.
No, definitely, definitely.
He made a cautious. I think that was one of his first good decisions as a king.
Yeah.
Not kill the guy because it was under rules. He could have killed him.
That's right.
But he made a king decision, I think, right there to not kill him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man.
So the scene goes into him going to the other side, which is where they bury him. They give him the juice, so he kind of. Do you think it's kind of a near-death experience, isn't it, where you get to meet the old tribe and the relatives, basically?
Yeah. Well, they buried him alive, right? The tradition is he drinks the flower, the special flower juice, turn him into Black Panther, and then he bury him alive. And that scene, bro, I'd be honest with you, the first time I saw that, I felt very emotional. I don't know why.
Same here.
There's something about the father-son relationship that they have that just reminds me of me and Dad or something. I don't know why. It's very touching.
No, of course. Very touching. I feel like...
I felt very emotional. And you know
it was because he didn't get to say goodbye to his dad properly.
That's what it was, man. I think that's what it was. And you know that he said to him, father, like I'm not saying to you that I'm not ready to be a king. I'm saying to you I'm not ready to live without you. And his father said something about like, man, he said, as a father, if I have not if I have not prepared you for my own death, then I have failed as a father. But I got emotional, man. I was gonna cry. That's deep, but that's freaking deep, man.
That was very, very, very touching to see. You know what? This movie had that though, bro. It had heart, man. I think because it meant so much more. Chadwick Boseman, who plays Black Panther, T'Challa. Bro, from when he played him in Civil War, I was like, this dude is fucking amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knows how to play it. He knows how to play
Someone
it.
said to me, imagine, sorry to cut you, bro, someone to cut you. Someone said to me, what if Michael B. Jordan was the Black Panther? He played such a great villain. What if he was the Black Panther?
He's good, bro. He's a good actor.
He would have done it well as well.
But then there's that American accent. Can he do that African accent?
Well, Boseman can do it. I'm sure B. Jordan can do it too,
No,
man.
true. He is a method actor as well, so I gotta say that he goes into his roles really well. Like, he trains for it. He punishes himself. He puts him through it. Yeah, Michael B. Yeah.
Well,
But
like he researched on he got influence and got a lot of influence from the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker. Yeah. He said he watched that and he was very inspired by that, and that's how he tried to not make the same character, but just get influence from that character.
Yeah, that same sort of passion he had. The passion. It was all about the passion. But yeah,
because I think, like I said, this bad guy had a motive, so this motive had to have passion behind it.
Exactly.
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
definitely.
But yeah. So moving on from that scene, where was we, bro?
The meeting his dad.
And then
they find out that Claw's out there again. You see the scene in the museum, the British Museum.
Yes, that's when you get introduced to Michael B. Jordan.
That's right,
British Museum. And Michael B. Jordan's in there, and he's basically, that's when you know already he's radicalized, because he's asking the expert, you know, what is this from? And she tried to tell him that. He goes, nah, this is from Wakanda.
Yeah.
Right? And she doesn't know what it is. And he goes, don't worry, I'll take this off your hands. And then when she tried to say, no, it's not for sale, and he's like, how you think your ancestors got this? And that's when you know this guy's straight away radicalized and whatnot.
Exactly.
Yeah. That sort of perspective. Yeah. And then Claw gets involved, shoot up everyone, and they steal that piece of vibranium.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Yeah. And then moving on from there, it just goes on to, the next scene was probably the when they were in the technology science lab. It's just the science lab. Bro, that scene was wicked. And do you know what I loved about that scene as well, which is kind of, again, which brings back to the culture. You know when he was wearing the sandals, and she was like, what are those? And he was like, you don't like my royal sandals.
Yeah.
I was like, proper African steez, but I love it.
Because it was like, he said, I'm going old school, isn't it? He was like, I'm going old school, I'm wearing the sandals. And I was like, oh, I was dying, bro. It was really good banter. Between him and his sister, they had a great chemistry, man. Really good.
Yeah. And like, she's supposed to be like as smart as Tony Stark and stuff like that. She's supposed to be like that sort of intelligence.
That's right, yeah.
I really think that they expressed her intelligence in a certain way, man.
Yeah, definitely did. And you know, the underground tech that they have because of the vibranium, man, it's amazing. It's amazing.
And I always feel like, and I think this is in a real world scenario as well, like the environment you're in helps channel your intelligence.
Yeah.
As human beings, I think we're all smart. Like, we all have intelligence in different ways. But unfortunately, some people in the world don't have the resources that other people do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So we use Africa, for example, right? There's a lot of starving children there and whatnot. But you hear these one-off stories where this poor kid has developed a way to clear water with the resources that he has, right? I mean, that's freaking intelligent. Now imagine if you put him in a Tony Stark type science lab. That guy will use the intelligence in that environment he has to build something epic. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Of course,
and I felt like that expressed it. Like, she wasn't just smart for the sake of it. She was smart because she was in that environment of this vibranium technology. So she developed this intelligence. It drove her intelligence to be like beyond anything. You know what I'm saying?
No, definitely, bro. Definitely.
And that's when we got introduced to the new suit that absorbs kinetic energy and stuff. But that scene was wicked as well.
They stole that shit right from Bishop, bro.
Shit. Okay. Yeah.
They stole that shit right from Bishop because the fucking 20th Century Fox didn't know how to use a great character and great powers. Black Panther got it.
Wicked. I didn't even think about
because Black Panther originally, he's got strength and agility, bro. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's his main thing. The tech is an extra bonus to him. So why not? If they're not utilizing this power, why not use it? And he fucking used that amazing, bro. I was moist when he finished. She was like, your suit's ready, it's full of kinetic charge. That was
like Dragon Ball Z shit, bro. You know when they're just like, bah! Come on. I was was sick.
Yeah, so I was really interested in that. That really inspired me. You know, the tech part of it is amazing. The next scene goes on to them finding Claw, finding out about that he's in the local area. And do they go to Korea?
They were in Korea, yeah. They were in Busan, Korea.
Okay.
Do you know what was wicked about that fight scene in that casino? I don't know if you noticed, and maybe I'm wrong, but there was a good maybe 5-10 minutes where there was no cutscenes. Like the camera would show the fight scene. Remember that Tom Yong-gon, the Warrior King? Remember that scene where there was no cutscene, they were just fighting and the camera just went?
So
they done that only one scene, but there was one point where it just went from downstairs to upstairs, went to downstairs. I was like, that was all one freaking scene, and that was awesome.
So you know the scene he did in Creed, the first fight scene.
Yeah.
That's how he did it. He did it seamlessly. So he did the same thing in this. So of course he's gonna bring his traits into this movie, bro. Like
I thought that was brilliant.
That was a good scene. That showed me the power that the female characters had in it. So the female characters, like I can't pronounce. Let me pronounce her name properly, man, because I think she was amazing. So she the one from Walking Dead. Her name is Danya Guerrera, and the one that his love interest was Lupita.
Yeah.
They are amazing martial artists. Wow, whatever, man. She played that shit powerful, bro. Like the way she held the spear, bro. Like,
and she kept going, dong.
Fucking strong, bro. Strong.
Power.
Strong.
My friend that watched it with me, she was like, man, I'm gonna shave my head. She was a black girl, and she was like, man, I'm gonna shave my head. I'm like, do it, bro. That's some powerful shit. Like, she looked wicked.
No, she was absolutely amazing.
Like, not only empowered, as you said in the beginning, like people of ethnic origin and whatnot, but it also empowered women of ethnic origin. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah. Of course, definitely. I think it played a big part. It played, bro, I'm not gonna lie, because my wife was like, she had goosebumps when she saw the way the women were in this movie, and that plays a big part because, as much as we love superhero movies and the rest of it, I mean, somebody like my wife who comes from a different background, she knows about them, but she's not into it as we are. To sit there for 2.5 hours, where most women would be like, good night. She loved it from beginning to end because of that, the strong women presence, the culture, and they did the women properly in this movie, bro.
Yeah, and I think so.
With respect and honor, bro. That's what made them more powerful, bro. The passion, the honor they had, they were inspiring, man. I gotta say, even as a dude, bro, I was like, fucking hell, man. She holds herself well, and I think the characters that they play, they're so passionate. I mean, so her name was Lupita, who plays T'Challa's love interest. She has this deeper thing, like, you know, at the beginning scene where she was like, there is more people to help out there.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. She's thinking of it the right way.
That's right, exactly. So, you know, that's why she doesn't come back to, you know, her thing about going back to Wakanda and stuff. And then the character that plays Danya, is it Danya? Yeah, it's Danya. Danya plays, she's very honourable to whoever is king of the throne. She doesn't want to break that. She hates the fact that, you know, what we're going to talk about soon happened, but it's happened, basically, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, we go on to one of the best action scenes, car chases, in, you know, fucking hell, it was emotional.
Just to quickly piggyback on what you said, bro.
Yeah.
One of the girls at work, remember Rebecca? Do you remember her?
Yeah.
At work, her husband's all comic book. He's all into this. She hates all that comic book stuff. Anyway, She went and watched it with him, right? Because he forced her. But first thing she said to me, she was like, you know, it's okay. You know, she's not into it. Basically, she's not into it. But she said to me, the women were powerful. That's what she said to me. She goes, the women were very powerful. She's not into this comic book movie, so she biasly thought it was okay-ish. But yeah, she was like, the women, very powerful. So yeah, definitely a big up, man. They smashed it. But yeah, that car chase scene, epic, really cool. I mean, again, it showed the technology of the Wakandan. Technology they had, because she was driving it from freaking Wakanda.
Yeah.
The car that they had there, which was awesome. the car was bulletproof completely.
Vibranium card, bro.
Vibranium cards, come on, wicked. But what was wicked was when she, I forgot her name, and you said it was Danya.
Yeah, that's her real name. Her screen name was Okoya.
Okoya. When Okoya got on top of the car, and she was like, "Just keep driving," I was like, "She is fucking badass, bro. She's gonna." And she thought the spare right the way through, and come on, man, that was wicked. That was awesome. And then you see Claw's hand finally giving us a demonstration of what he can do because he blew up the vibranium car.
That's
so
right.
You're like, that's a serious weapon.
Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome. But the scene before that, man, when Black Panther was getting all the kinetic energy, and he's got on top of the car and just boom, what? Wicked.
So good, so good. They really used that power really well. I'm really happy that they got to do that. So onto the next scene, they move on to Claude being caught. Martin Freeman's there. He was actually in the casino. Sorry, I forgot to say. He was in the casino. They were looking to buy this vibranium that they stole from the museum to the Americans, but the Americans were actually, it's SHIELD, isn't it? They're not SHIELD, man. They're not SHIELD. CIA. So so Martin Freeman was there. Black Panther catches him, just ready to kill him because he was promised to kill it from one of his friends. That's what we forgot to say. This guy, because when Claw...
He gave him his word, he'll bring him back. But when it came down to it, he was ready to kill him.
Yeah, definitely. So they go into a scene where they're in a location somewhere in Africa. Not Africa, Korea. In Korea, where so they are just interrogating him, and he's trying to tell them about, you guys don't know shit about Wakanda and what they're capable of and what it is. And
even the CIA think it's a third world country.
Yeah,
and he's like, go and ask T'Challa. Yeah. He's like, he made him stutter, right? He made him think, oh shit, what's he talking about? Is it true?
That's right. That's right. So
Claw I liked Claw's character a little bit. He was quite funny. He was quite quirky.
Quirky, yeah, that's right.
Vibe from Avengers 2. Remember the cuttlefish?
Yeah, the cuttlefish. Yeah, I love that scene. If you don't look like a cuttlefish, Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis is a great actor. I have got much credit for that dude because he started the motion capture business in the UK. He's done his film log is massive, bro. You know, from Gollum to Caesar. Caesar is one of my favorite characters, and I was going to do another review on War of the Planet of the Apes again, because I think I made a mistake last year, bro.
What?
I think War of the Planet of the Apes is my favorite movie from last year.
So it beats Logan for you. What did you pick, Logan?
I picked Logan, and the thing is very hard because I'm biased to a comic book movie than something that's, I don't know, bro. Planet of the Apes, man. That last, I watched it the other day, bro. I cried like a baby as well, and I'm like,
it's because we grew up with it in a way. We grew up with Caesar, and we got to know him. We got to love him, and we wanted to see what happens to him. And maybe that's got a sort of connection.
No, that's right. That plays a big part. But Andy Serkis, he smashed it. Let's not get off subject. Let's stay on it. He was amazing. He played this quirky character. They're getting interrogated. Michael B. Jordan comes in. All sorts of madness happens. Martin Freeman's character, he jumps in front of a bullet for I'm just gonna call it T'Challa's girlfriend. T'Challa's girlfriend, and he gets shot through the spine. T'Challa tries to chase them. He notices that Michael B. Jordan wears a ring with a Black Panther ring, and then the story gets deep.
That's when he starts realizing.
Yeah, he starts realizing. So he takes Martin Freeman's character to Wakanda to help him. His sister helps him, and she's like, another white boy to help. And then I was like, yes, Bucky. Bucky. There's another thing I wanted to say. I forgot to say it in my podcast but do you know Wakanda has been in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for almost, 8 years? Because in Iron Man 2, there was a map behind him that said Wakanda, before they introduced it in Avengers. So you can kind of think that they had it planned from they were going to do it, but they didn't know when and how until they found the right character. And Chadwick Boseman, he was in a movie with Harrison Ford called 42. He did another movie called Get Up, which was the James Brown story. So they were like, this guy is a good. He knows how to do different accents and different things. We need this guy on the team. Bang. Cut 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they announced it. Not even 2, 3 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, moving on to the story, they're in Wakanda, and they're helping Martin Freeman's character, and then the problem starts.
That's when T'Challa goes to Forrest Whitaker's character and it's like, you gotta tell me. It's like, I am your king. Like you know when Forrest Whitaker was like, I promised the king I wouldn't say. It's like, I am your king.
Yeah.
Like, that was deep. That's when you know some shit was going on. Because he said he saw his grandfather's ring on it. Like, that's the king of... The ring was from the previous king or something. So that was deep. And then Forrest Whitaker told him the story, right? The full story about exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We knew, like, we created something. We created this something. It's
Yeah.
not like something out of the blue or whatnot.
No, of course, we created it.
I think that's where things start getting deep for him, because he realized there. I wouldn't say he lost faith in his father, but he was just like, my father made a mistake, like a big mistake. Like, why did you leave the child there? Like, he really had doubt in his father, who he looked up to so much, right? To him, his father was, you know, like, obviously the king, but he looked up to him so much, and he's like, you made this big mistake, and you've put us in this situation now.
Yeah, that's
so,
right.
Yeah, so I think that was really hard for him to deal with, in the sense that, man, like, how do I move forward from him? My hero has made a fucked up mistake, and then his girlfriend's telling him we're not all perfect. So
no, that's right. So what happens in that?
As well.
So what happens in that scene is Michael B. Jordan's Killermonger's character has killed all of his partners, kills Andy Serkis's character, gets on a plane, heads to Wakanda, and now he comes up to the kind of the barriers, the guards, and one of T'Challa's friends that he promised that he would get claw back betrays him because all he wanted was justice for his parents.
Yeah.
So Michael B. Jordan's character.
I wouldn't say betrayed. I would say more. It was what you just said. Claw killed his parents. So when he saw this outsider come in with Claw, which T'Challa said he would get for him, it was an automatic connection to, you just killed the son of a bitch who killed my family. Like,
that's true.
I want to know who you are. I wouldn't say betrayed. It's kind of like, oh man, you done me the best thing anyone could have asked, like at this time. You know what I'm trying to say? I think it was an emotional thing.
Yeah, it was an emotional response. So he comes in, the family's talking about all this madness. Michael B. Jordan proves who he is, and he challenges T'Challa. And this comes to the scene where they challenge each other. And this is the scene where you get to... It gets emotional, man. It gets very emotional. You know, Angela Bassett's character, who plays T'Challa's mum, amazing actress, sees, you know, something tragic, like, you know...
Sorry to cut you, you know, just before when Michael B. Jordan introduces himself and, you know, asking him, tell me who I am, ask me who I am, ask me who I am. This is where you get to know how radicalized he's getting, because he looks at him and he says to him, 2 billion people that look like us are suffering out there. Where the hell is Wakanda? Where the hell have you been? And Chadwick Boseman's character was, you know, T'Challa was like, oh, they're not my people. I'm the king of Wakanda. You know, and he was like, they're not your people. They look like you. You know what I mean? We look the same. Like they are our people. That's when you started noticing that this guy's got a motive. It's not just like a Thor and Loki sort of situation where Loki just wants to be king. He doesn't give a shit about king. He's talking about, where the fuck have you lot been, where our people have been suffering. Yeah. You guys are sitting there in this fancy rice place. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in because he kept on saying, ask me who I am, and then he exposed himself to be
of course,
the cousin. Basically,
he's the cousin.
T'Challa's cousin, he had that on his lip, the little code on his lip that his dad put on him to make sure he didn't talk.
Yeah. Hold up, bro. Give me a second. I think family's heading out, going somewhere.
Okay, cool.
Shanaz, you guys going now? Oh. Sorry?
Well, I'll just carry on from the scene. Oh. So basically, from there, my Killermonger character challenges, because he is of royal blood, he has the authority to challenge T'Challa for the throne.
No, of course,
and T'Challa challenges him. You know, he accepts the challenge because as a king would, and maybe it's his own ego, maybe there's a lot more about emotions into it rather than just saying, get this guy out of my kingdom. There was something, because he knew what his father done, so it wasn't just like, get out of here. He's like, I gotta make right what's been wrong. You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
Accepting the challenge was a part of that.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, and then we see, Michael B. Jordan's character obviously isn't no slop. He ain't no kid from the ghetto or whatnot. We find out that he's, black ops, been to Afghanistan, basically part of the military and whatnot.
Yeah.
Mike Freeman's character says we know him. He's one of us. So he's a part of the CIA. He's a well-trained soldier, basically.
Yeah, he's a killer. He's marked his body as well with the amount of kills he's made as well.
That's where he got the name from, Killmonger, right?
Yeah.
He had all the marks on him. And you know what's interesting about that as well? Like, again, this comes down to attention to detail and shit. The tribes in Africa, they mark this up. I don't know if it's the same as for a kill, but they have them sort of marks on their body. Like, all the characters and costume designs, everything was from different tribes from in real life Africa.
Yeah.
Just to put that in there. But yeah, that fight was quite epic and emotional, man. T'Challa gets taken out basically, and then Forrest Whitaker's character saves him from his head getting chopped off or whatever, and then he gets killed because he basically tells Killmonger that it was because of me your father died. Your father tried to kill me, and your king saved me and killed your father basically. So Killmonger kills Forrest Whitaker, which felt very emotional because he almost felt like a father figure to T'Challa a little bit. I felt like he was almost there
at the time. And
then Killmonger throws him off the waterfall, like the mountain, I guess. And like you said, his mother played an important role. Like the emotion she put into it, seeing her son get killed and whatnot in front of her eyes was emotional. Even the sister, man, they were very emotional. They were crying at the fact that they couldn't bury their father, they couldn't bury him. It's just like
that was quite
emotional.
Deep. That was quite deep. Yeah, that was actually quite deep. I mean, so Killmonger takes over, he gets a chain, he goes through the process of meeting his ancestors. In the process of that, he meets his dad. And that was quite a crucial scene, very crucial, deep scene, because they go through about what was happening, why it was happening, and that they both feel like they didn't have a home.
Yeah, it's deep.
Yeah, that was deep. And it kind of ends there. He wakes up and he tells...
If you notice in the background, there was a poster of... shit, man. What's that hip-hop group called, man? Bring it up.
Public Enemy.
Public Enemy, bloody hell. Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Public Enemy. They stood up for the rights and all that stuff like that.
Yeah. So Public Enemy.
You could just tell the environment... Again, I'm going back to... You could just tell the environment is that... that radicalized freedom of speech type,
No, of course.
Trying to save the people. The cause is right. The motive, the cause and the motive is right. The way about doing it was wrong. That's what.
That's the main thing of it, isn't it?
And you see the environment of it, and his father obviously. His father, like, you know what? Yeah, that scene with his father was emotional because his father wasn't telling him, like, we need to save our people. He wasn't radicalized about it. He just saw the truth and he was very emotional about it and whatnot.
Yeah.
About his home and Wakanda and how beautiful it is. But he saw how bad it is outside of Wakanda. But he wasn't forcing it on his son.
No, he
didn't. You know what I'm trying to say?
He didn't.
His son absorbed that himself. And I think the death of his father also influenced that radicalization of how radical he got to do what he had to do.
No, of course. I think it plays a big part. And it was quite an emotional scene because the way it ended was like both of them didn't feel like they were at home. Their home was that place in Oakland, bro.
Yeah.
That's where they shared most of their memories, their time. That's what was home for them. Which is quite an emotional part. He wakes up, he goes into a frantic mad mode where he's like, burn all of this. Nobody else is going to become king after this. Nobody else is going to need this. So burn these flowers. And that's when T'Challa's girlfriend quickly grabs one piece, splurts. I like the fact, sorry. So they splurt, and then this is your part, bro. I think you love this part. So they go up into the mountains with Martin Freeman. They run off.
Yeah, and then just quickly on that, man, it's interesting that he burned all the flowers. I mean, I know this is not real, but in that universe, that means there won't be no more Black Panther kings because he burned all the flowers.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was interesting. But yeah, goes on. They go into the what's that tribe called again?
M'Baku. His name's M'Baku, but I forgot the tribe's name, man.
They have resulted in, I think his mother, his love interest, his sister, and they figured the only one that can help him now is the king of M'Baku, of that tribe. So they're heading towards him with the flower to offer him that flower. And that was my favorite visual scene, like picture scene of the whole movie for me personally, because when you first see the king, the M'Baku king, he's sitting there, he's huge, right? They're the gorilla king, right? He's huge. He's sitting there with his stick. He's got his 2 guards. You just see the outline of Africa, like it's, or Wakanda. It's like night, all these bamboo sticks, and I thought that is a comic book scene.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely. It was absolutely.
He looked wicked. I don't care. But yeah, they offer it to him. He was quite realistic. They were like, my son was murdered, and he was like, was it under the rules? He was like, well, it was more of a defeat than a murder. So it's kind of telling him. And then they offer him the plant, and he told them, let me show you something. And then he showed them T'Challa. So T'Challa's not dead. Obviously, we know that he's not dead. But he was just saying one of his fishermen found him, or farmers found him, and brought him in, and they put him in snow to kind of preserve his life and whatnot. And then they use a flower for him, and then I instantly, they use a flower on him, they bury him with the snow, and he goes back to the place where he meets his ancestors, and it's the first time he confronts all of his ancestors and his father, and tells them, you're all wrong, every single one of you here are wrong. And I think that was a big step for him becoming that king, because he's challenging the previous kings on a decision that they made wrong, right? These are all the process of him going through it, right?
Yeah.
Rather than him saying yes sir, no sir, whatever, he's actually thinking about what is right and wrong as a king, and he's telling the previous king you were wrong for leaving him there. You made a mistake.
That was an emotional scene.
Emotional.
Because his dad knew as well.
Yeah.
His dad was like, I know I messed up. I know I fucked up, but it's true though. Like, I think this was his first decision to becoming a greater king as well, bro. To say that you guys have made this mistake, you caused this problem, you didn't say anything or do anything about it. I have to fix all the wrongs you guys did.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
he takes it on a good chin. He comes back, bro. That scene when he comes back, bro.
Wicked. I love that again. I love that scene where his sister was very smart. She stole the chain that I've got on now, the one that the suit's in. Right, so she's told that she had that ready. She maybe had, maybe she had faith, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, she had faith that her brother's alive. And then that scene was funny, man, when, they're talking about getting back, and then the M'Baku King is like, are you done? Are you done? I was like, busted up.
No, he was good. He was good. He tried to get him to give him an army, but it didn't go down the way it planned. But when it did happen, like when the characters of Michael B. Jordan and Chadwick Boseman meet up again, T'Challa and Killmonger, Killmonger's already loaded up ships so he can already distribute all of this stuff around the world. T'Challa's come to stop.
Motive, right? Now we're getting into the motive of what he wants to do, right? Because he sits there on the phone and he's looking at all the other tribe leaders, and he expresses himself in the fact that where the hell was Wakanda when all our people were being suppressed and all that stuff around the world? So they had spies and whatnot already all over the world, and he was looking to use this Wakandan arms and just basically arm up everyone, take over the world. Not take over the world, he said kill the leaders, kill their children, and rule the world the way it should be ruled. That's the way he thinks it should be ruled. He says start over again with the right people ruling the world. And that's basically him saying, like the African people ruling the world, whereas before it's been the other way around.
Of course.
This is what you get his true motive. That's why I believe what he's like. He doesn't care about being king.
No, he doesn't.
I don't even think he cares about Wakanda in a sense. He cares about his people outside, and he's like, I'm gonna arm all these people with what Wakanda should have armed them with years ago.
Yeah.
That's what I feel that he's doing. And again, this is where I feel like, you know what, your motive is right, man, but your way around it is completely wrong, because you're looking to wage war. And Wakanda's way is never to wage war. On anyone unless it's necessary. But that's why, I think that scene was critical to kind of really express that's his plan.
No, that was his motive. Yeah, that's where he went. So you get this massive, Marvel always have the epic end battle scene. It goes into Black Panther beefing him. The sisters come out and help. They got new costumes, and then his friend with the cloth. I can't remember his name, man. Let me get his name, man, because he was a funny. He's a British actor, so he's quite good.
He was in that movie Get Out.
Yeah, his name is Daniel. His name is Wakabi in this one, the Wakabi clan, and they come out and they got shields under their longies and stuff. I say longi because I don't know why, because there was that scene where T'Challa's dad came out in a dress and I was like, scares me, longi wearing games.
Longi games. Well, so what's the name? Carl, what's the name? Carl was saying to the CIA agent, like, not only are they using vibranium for weapons, they sew it into their clothes, everything. You don't understand what they're using it for. So this is what to see it. Oh, okay, they have got it in their clothes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Epic battle scene, man. The martial arts, the choreographs, the scenery, nothing looked out of place. And then you see Michael B. Jordan's character, because you have the generals suddenly thinking, all right, this guy is the wrong type of king. We're going to have to turn against him. T'Challa's alive. And then, pow! He was in the two suits that they introduced at the beginning. One was he was like really gold and he goes, I don't really want to stand out. And then he took the purple one. And it looks like Killmonger took the gold one, the gold chain one. And then, you know what? Their scene was actually really, really good, man. Because it went from, very bright fighting on the top to moving down to the level of where the vibranium and all the technology was. And the way it worked with the suit. Because you remember the magnetic trains moved in a certain way.
Yeah.
This is where Martin Freeman's character makes much more sense. Because his sister was saying that you was a great air pilot back in the army. We need your help. And this is where he goes out to get the ships. Now, this is where his character made a bit more sense. Because they needed one person there. From the outside world in there. So, that for him to understand why Wakanda is the way it is. And why it's become this. So, he's gone out there. He's going to shoot at the ships that have already gone out. And Killmonger and Black Panther have an epic battle fight scene with technology going all over the place, and fuck man, that ending of that fight was emotional.
Yeah, I thought that was deep. I mean, that what you're saying, that battle was wicked. I love the rhinos,
yes,
Yeah, those rhinos. I thought they was amazing. They look wicked. We saw a lot of the kinetic energy being used again.
Yep, that's right.
Killmonger used it a few times, and Black Panther used it a few times, which was awesome.
And then the gorilla tribe ended up coming back as well to help.
Oh yes. When you
started hearing forever.
I was like, you kind of knew they were gonna come. It's like one of those typical hero sort of moments when they try to come.
Yeah.
They were wicked. I really liked them. He was one, like I said, watching it the second time. That King, M'Baku King, was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fight scene goes on, man. So like you said, Martin Freeman's character is blowing up the ship that's going to distribute the weapons around, and then you got T'Challa and Killmonger fighting in the technology place where the trains are running. Yeah, that was a deep fight, bro. I mean, ultimately he gets killed. Killmonger gets killed. Black Panther does some awesome epic moves, and while the magnetic field temporarily takes away the vibranium suit, he managed to stab him. But he didn't die because the suit cleared up, right? So it just kind of stuck in him. And he must have said, well, it was deep, man. He was saying that he always wanted to see how beautiful Wakanda was. His dad was saying that Wakanda is the most beautiful place in the world. And then Black Panther T'Challa took him up to a scenery to actually see the sunrise of Wakanda, and that was actually, or the sunset of Wakanda, which was deep. I thought that was quite emotional. And he said, just before he allowed himself to die, he said something really deep because T'Challa was like, we can still save you, and we'll take you back to the lab and save you. And he was like, why? So you can keep me here in bondage. And he was like, you know what? Bury me in the ocean, like just where my ancestors jumped off the boat, because they would rather be free than be in bondage. I was like, oh my God, that's deep. Like, killed it. That was deep. And then he took the blade out and then he died. But that lyric, bro, that was deep because again, it just goes back to his motive, and I think again after that we see T'Challa spreading the knowledge of Wakanda outside, and I think that helped him. And he saw how passionate Killmonger was about this motive, and I think he saw how true it was that he was willing to die for it. You know, I mean, in the sense that you guys are not gonna keep me as a slave, as the people did, because that's what T'Challa was gonna do, right? They weren't gonna let him free.
No, of course not. Of course not.
He's like, throw me in the ocean with my ancestors, man. Deep, but oh my god, that's when I was like, Michael B. Jordan killed it. We have our best Marvel villain to this day. I don't care. Maybe Thanos, he better win. Thanos has to win because he's the main dude. But if not, Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger killed it, man. Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely. The movie ends with them opening up like a resource center in Oakland, which was amazing, which is quite inspiring. And when the young kid asks him, "Who are you?" and it just kind of stops. What was the post-credit scene?
Those two end credit scenes. So one of them is T'Challa's in front of all the world leaders.
That's right.
And he finally exposes, like, I'm the king of Wakanda, and we're gonna share our resources. And then I think maybe the French Prime Minister, or whatever, puts up his hand and says, what can a third world country, basically saying, what can a third world country present to the world, give to the world? And he smiled because, again, nobody knows what Wakanda has.
Exactly.
But the statement that he made was a beautiful statement. It wasn't just, again, he thought about the motive of Killmonger and what his ex was saying about how we can help other people and pull it in the right way, not to just help ethnic people, but he's like, help all the people as one. We need to be as one people. So it wasn't just, I'm going to help black people, I'm going to help ethnic people. It was like, we need to help everyone as one. He's exposed that he's going to get, use the Wakanda technology. And again, this is what I was saying at the beginning. Maybe in the Marvel Universe now, when we see New York and it's all futuristic, maybe this could be Wakanda's technology. Because in the comic book, sometimes you see some futuristic shit, right? Yeah. So maybe this is an excuse to use it in the real world, but because of Wakanda.
No, of course. I think that'd be a great way to introduce that in there.
Yeah. And then the end scene, there was one more post-credit scene which we were all waiting for, which is the connection to Infinity War.
Yep.
You see three kids in this little tent looking over somebody. I knew already who that was, but they're looking over someone, and they come out, and the sister says, "Oh, leave the man alone." And then out walks Bucky, armless,
yes.
no arms, armless. Well, I think the main thing they were trying to help him with was his mental thing, right? To get that psychology shit out of his head, the hypnotism thing out of his head. So that's when she was like, "How you feeling?" He was like, "I feel much better," which that shit's out of his head now.
Yeah.
How they gonna give him a nice vibranium arm? Obviously.
Moist.
But that was it. I was a little bit. I was hoping, Captain, please show up, Captain, where are you? But there was no Captain. Maybe that's a new Captain in the future. But I was hoping to see Mr. Steve Rogers.
No, same here. But no, very good.
That was the ultimate film, bro. Listen, I think that was a brilliant film. Like I said, for me, the story got me. I thought it was a brilliant, risky story, but risky and done so good that it just fits in this comic book world. It sends a great message. It makes the best Marvel villain with a great motive, and it helps evolve this character that we got introduced to in Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Amazingly, and now he's still, ultimately he's gonna help the world. He's got this powerful thing. He's used the negative shit that his father and his ancestors created, and he's used Killmonger's motive to help the world. Wicked. Again, the ultimate king decision, bro. He's finally, after these years, let Wakanda being exposed to the world. It's a king decision, man. He done it.
That's massive. It's massive. It's a massive responsibility as well.
Wicked.
No, great movie. I feel like the movie, it's played a big part, man. I mean, I saw an interview with Chadwick Boseman yesterday, and how much it means for him to do it, because he was in contact. I don't know if you've seen the video where he was in contact with two kids who suffered terminal cancer, and how much it meant for them to see a Black Panther movie coming out. He goes, he had to go take himself back as a kid when he was waiting for Christmas and birthdays to understand the feeling that they were that they had for this movie. And I mean, both the kids, they passed before the movie can come out, and like, bro, the passion in the actor himself for the way he was. It's a great responsibility to play some of these characters, but I think across the world, when it comes to Man, people in third world countries will now know proper about Black Panther now. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no
And what it
doubt.
means, and
Well, this film's been making a lot of noise.
Hmm.
A lot of noise. And again, because of the culture of the movie and whatnot, there's loads of charity companies that been, or people building charities to take poor African American kids. This is from the US base that they're taking these kids to go watch the movie because it's hope. Like all these kids, they know Avengers, they love them, and they get hope from these superheroes. But now these young ethnic kids are going to see an African superhero, and all these charity companies are taking them because they can get inspired. It's not just like another white man. Just saying, I don't want to say it, but just another white man superhero still gives me hope. But now I'm going to see my own skin color or an ethnic guy with an ethnic accent saving the world. You know what I mean? Like the most important. And I think it means a lot. And then also I was reading so many other stuff that there was some like people. There's so much shit going on about it. It's even some negative shit. So people were saying some people were saying, don't go watch the movie. No, white people shouldn't watch the movie yet. They should let black people go. These are stupid people. All these people I'm mentioning are stupid people, right? They're saying that white people should go, not watch it yet. They should let black people absorb this and take this. Don't ruin it. Don't try to steal the black people's movie that's been created. Bullshit like that. Other people are making up shit on the internet saying that they went, again, stupid people, they went to watch the movie and these radical ethnic people beat them up. So they're like putting fake makeup on, like they've been beaten up, and saying, yeah, we went to watch Black Panther and these radical people beat us up because it's a black movie, it's an ethnic movie, and people, it's causing so much shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's so much positivity to it, but also when you have so much positivity, there's always going to be some negative shit.
No, it's got to be balanced, man. It's got to be balanced. There was a guy who commented on my review.
What is?
You know what? I have to read it to you. Let me pull it out, man. Actually, you know what?
Generally, generally, when people make negative comments, you just let that play. But I'm interested in what he said.
No, bro. Look, I'm seeing it as a positive thing because it seemed to have hurt him for some reason.
But do not respond to this dude because he doesn't. You don't need to respond to that shit.
The thing is, I wanted to say thank you for watching the review. It means a lot. Thanks for the views.
But don't ever try and argue with him. Let him.
No, bro. The thing is, with people like that, you can't argue. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna prove a point. It's not gonna change their mind. But I'll do shout outs. I'll give him a shout out. You know the guy who commented on your shake? He said thank you very much for the information.
Yeah. Same guy?
No, this is a different guy, not the same guy. The guy who commented on this. Oh shit! I think he deleted it.
Oh, is that it's gone?
Yeah, it's gone. I think he deleted it.
Oh, okay. What did he say?
Basically about kissing Disney's ass. This movie is basic. Go get paid by Disney. Why are you sucking ass for?
Oh, okay. Oh, but you get that shit. You get that all the time, bro.
Which is cool. I don't mind it, yeah. But it was just funny because it was like, dude, what planet are you from? I don't want to be judging or nothing, but I'm like, you must really, really, really. You got hatred in your heart. Let it out, brother. You know.
Well, listen, people are gonna say shit, man. Listen, I listen to Joe Rogan's podcast. I keep talking about him, but he gets claimed that he works for the government or the government pay him and to say this and say that. So someone on that level, you know what I mean? Like he even gets it, or Fox pays him and this pays him, and so it's the same shit. Yeah, it's the same shit. So
no, that's right. It's nothing.
Let these people comment.
Yeah.
But I say, if you don't like the content and you want to comment, thanks for watching and comment. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it, thanks for pressing the dislike button. Because it's a show of engagement. You know what I'm trying to say?
Of course, and that's what we want. I mean, you try and keep everything positive, and as you said, it's a balance of negativity. I mean, those people that took the time to put on that fake makeup, to say they got beaten up, they actually enjoyed that movie. They loved that movie, bro. But they thought, let's cause some drama because this movie is getting too much hype.
Yeah, man, of course.
And go from there, basically.
Yeah, I mean, listen. In some ways, there shouldn't be so much hype over a movie like this. I mean, it should be hype in the sense of an Avengers movie.
Sorry, G-Man, hold up. Let me know when you're back. I'm gonna try and get back before 5. Okay? Can you text me once you get there? Thank you very much. See you later. Yeah.
Listen, as a comic book movie, of course, all the comic book fans are gonna go watch this. But as that deeper, more meaning, there shouldn't be hype. But you know what? There is, because yes, we've had previous black superheroes. We've had it, like I said, Blade and whatnot. And
No,
we
of
need to
course.
see another Blade. I want to see Blade back in Marvel Universe. Hell yeah.
Yes.
But again, this is not just that. This is, like I said, it's a very cultural movie with a deep meaning. You know what I'm trying to say? So,
no, of course.
But everyone should be watching it. Listen, I've told some of my friends as well. Listen, it's not just for black people. Black people shouldn't be inspired by this. All ethnic people should be inspired by this, and even everyone should be inspired by this movie. Not just, oh, I'm black, it's a movie for me. Oh, I'm an ethnic guy, it's a movie. No, whatever you are, this is a movie for you, and it's just giving a message, just like every other message. And ultimately, the message is good and bad, man. Like, yes, bad shit has happened in the world. How you handle it defines you. Now, if you want to handle it in the wrong way, that's what's gonna, cause you to be a terrorist and criminal and all that sort of shit. But if you handle it, what has happened in the past, in the right way, that's how you can move forward. That's how we can move forward as a human race. You know what I'm trying to say?
Exactly.
Like, that's what ultimately, in a way, trying to say. And also, like, people want to say some fucked up shit like "let it go," that was in the past. Listen, I think the way ethnicity people have moved on is you forgive, but you don't forget. You can't forget shit like that. As history, I'm not saying you should not forget it and go out killing people, being fucking crazy. That's when you're stupid. But you move forward by not forgetting the past. That should help motivate you and help bring people together when you acknowledge what has happened, but you handle it in a positive way, because the world has moved forward. But you know what, though, bro? Like, getting more deep, man. I heard this on a podcast the other day, man. Like, you see slavery, bro. Do you know slavery still exists, bro, to this day? There was that footage that leaked in Libya, right? But did you know this, bro? I didn't know this, and this broke my heart, man. There's more slaves today than there was in the slave days that we know about. Do you know that? Do you know that? It's fucked up. I couldn't believe that. And this is where this story should be fucking recognized and something should be done, because there's no Wakanda in the real world. But there's all of us. There's the West, the UK, the US, all these countries, man, Hong Kong, Japan. Where the fuck are we? There's slaves in the world today, bro. Where the fuck are we? Where are our governments helping these slaves? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's a fucking relevant story to this day. And Wakanda is the world. And we're not helping. It's the same thing. Like, we're not helping. Why are we not helping? I don't know, and I cannot believe there are slaves today. It breaks my fucking heart. But listen, man, if this movie can help inspire these governments, and it's not going to happen, but if it inspires someone to be like, we need to get rid of all this slavery, I hope so. That'd be amazing. But people need to be aware, because I was not aware, but I'll be honest with you, I had no idea slavery still existed. For me to find that shit out, it broke my fucking heart, because I'm like, we have moved forward as a human race, no doubt about it. But how the fuck can there still be slaves in the world today? You know what I'm trying to say? It's fucking heartbreaking. That video in Libya kind of exposed a little bit more and opened my eyes to it, because I had no idea. This movie literally is the world today, man. We are Wakanda. Something needs to happen. I wish I had superpowers, bro. I would do something. I don't know what to do, man. Like, these governments really control shit, and we still have slaves in the world today. It's heartbreaking, man. But this movie helps expose what the world should do. The world is Wakanda, man.
Of course. It's as you said, man. The underlying meaning, man. It's difficult. And we do what we can, but it's the bigger changes, the people that can make changes. That's T'Challa's character. He made that change to do that. It takes somebody with that sort of stature to say, you know what, I'm gonna make that change. But you got all these fools running for MP and whatever. You know, there's a reason why we can't connect to politicians and stuff like that. It's because you haven't made no changes. There is no difference. All you've done is raise shit and made shit difficult for people, that everyday working people that pay your shit. Life's harder. So why do you feel like when somebody spits at you when they see you in the streets, it's because you haven't made no change. You ain't made no change for me. You've still made it difficult for my father. You've made it difficult for me. You've made it difficult for other people. So why am I gonna you have to be somebody different for me to go out there, vote for you, to see some change. Because after reading what I read the other day regarding the Grenfell Tower, what's happened, bro? It's another story in the background, lost with all the shit in the world at the moment, and nothing better happens, and it's hard. It's true. I think that's why, for us, when we read comic books and when we relate to these characters, is they make a change, and they take things into their own hands. They give us hope, and the problem is that, do you end up becoming somebody? We don't have the resources and things like T'Challa had, or what Tony Stark has, or even somebody like Captain America. You know, we would be the average Joe, Daredevil, Punisher, who would have to do the little petty stuff to try and make a bit of a change. And at the end, their end goal is to have that change, is not to have these psychotic, crazy people on the road. But, you know, I think what the Punisher did, personally, was go on above the level and tell us about what the governments are fucking doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love that you say that, because when people when people who don't know comic books and whatnot, and they're like, oh, you read comic books still, and I'm like, you know what, yeah, you read Harry Potter, for example. That's a story. That's a fictional story. These comic books are like a fictional story, but what these fictional stories are doing for me is giving me hope. Ultimately, these stories are about good and bad. You know what I'm saying? I love Captain America. He is a good guy. So when you, like you said, we don't have the resources, but imagine we woke up tomorrow with the resources. I woke up tomorrow with incredible hope, with the mind frame I got now. Well, I'm saving the world. Or I'm Superman. Just say Superman. I don't want to turn big and green and shit, butters and whatnot. Superman. But I'm saving the world. Because, not just say because of the whole comic books, but comic book stories had influenced me to be, I want to be the good guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the bad guy. You know what I'm trying to say? And they have influenced me. So I would save the world. You know what I'm trying to say? And you're right about these governments and whatnot, man. They can't relate to us. And this is why so much shit goes down. Bro, there shouldn't be poor people in the world. There shouldn't be fucking slaves in the world. There shouldn't be. There's billionaires out there. Do you know how many billionaires are there in the world, bro? They don't give a fuck about anyone.
That's what I'm saying.
And and also, like, now everyone's on this train about dissing Trump this, Trump that, is a bad president. Listen, I'm no fan of Trump, but they're all fucking bad presidents, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm not meaning to get too deep. I don't want to get too deep, shit, boy. But listen, they're all fucking bad. Don't stop dissing on Trump because of what he says and what he does. At least he's being real about it. This is the one. I don't respect the guy, but I respect him. He says it. He's not hiding it behind any bullshit. I'm gonna build a wall. I don't like these people. He says it. Whereas everyone else just sends out drones and just kills people without in the background. I'm just saying, like, Libya is a failed state. Libya is the state that we saw that was selling the slaves. Libya is a failed state because they killed Gaddafi, blah, 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 whoever. But you want to blame Trump now because of Trump this, Trump that. Lay off the guy, man. If you're going to blame him, blame them all. That's what I'm trying to say. I got too deep. I might, like, fucking CIA is going to break through my window now and shit. But
don't worry, man. Don't worry.
This movie makes you think about all this shit. Like I said, man, we are Wakanda today, man, and we need to help people in need out there. And there's so many of that. Man, I wish God blessed me with Superman powers, man. I would try to help all those people. I'm telling you, but I'm not in charge, man. It's difficult. When you're not in charge, when you don't have all the money in the world, when you're not Batman, you can't. I don't know, man. Something we can be done. One day, I hope. One day.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, bro. That was a awesome, great review. I hope you guys really enjoyed that, because we got shit deep, and this is probably an hour and a half we did. So I've never done a review this long. This is the first time we actually broke down a movie and really took it apart and really feel like the movie connected. You know what I mean? It's a great movie. Go catch it in IMAX 3D. Even if you can't do 3D, watch it in 2D. Go check it out. It's a great movie. But yeah, for now, bro, I got to run off. I got to head to Comic-Con quickly, say hello to a couple of friends. Didn't get the chance to get a table there. They got absolutely busy. So hopefully more shows coming up towards the end of the year. If not, some galleries will work something out, but I'll keep you posted. But for now, bro, I've got to say a massive thank you to everybody. And thank you, G-Man, for joining me on this podcast for Black Panther review. Breakdown, spoiler shit, bro.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
Thanks so much. G-Man out. Peace.
Take care. Peace.
Strike, brother.
Peace.